Cashflow functions. In this section, we'll be looking at entering cash flows into the calculator, computing NPV, that's net present value, computing IRR, the internal rate of return. When working with a series of unequal cash flows, one can compute the present value and sum the result by using the NPV function on the calculator. This process requires two steps. The first step is to enter the cash flows into the calculator using the Cashflow application. The second step is to compute the IRR or enter a discount rate to compute the NPV. Let's take a look at an example of how to enter cash flows into our calculator. ABC Corp is evaluating a project that requires an initial investment of $800,000. The project is expected to provide cash returns of $60,000 per year for 4 years, followed by cash returns of $180,000 per year for 6 years. To enter these cash flows into your calculator, we must first press the CF button, which stands for cash flows. Upon doing so, you should be able to see a CF0 on your screen. This is indicating the cash flow of initial investment. Before we begin, we must make sure our calculator memory is clean. To do this, whilst you're inside the application, you will press the yellow button, which is second, and you will press CE, which is at the bottom, which states clear work. This is to ensure that the entire cash flow worksheet is clean. You will now begin by typing 800,000 into the calculator and then press the plus minus sign to the left of the equal to button. You will then press the enter button on top. You will then press the down arrow key on your calculator. Upon doing so, you should be able to see C01, which is indication of cash flow 01 or cash flow of the first period. You will type 60,000 and press the enter button on top. Press the down arrow key. You should be able to see F01. F stands for frequency, where you can indicate how many times the first cash flow you specified has occurred. In this case, since 60,000 is expected to occur 4 times, we'll go ahead and type 4 and press the enter button on top. We'll then press the down arrow key and we'll type our second cash flow, which is 180,000. Press the enter button on top and press the down arrow key once again. You will be able to see F02, which stands for the frequency of the second cash flow. Since the second cash flow is expected to occur 6 times, we'll then go ahead and type 6 and press the enter button on top. With this, you have managed to enter the cash flows along with their frequencies into the calculator. Now let's take a look at an example of how to calculate the net present value. We're going to keep with the same example as before, since we've already fed in the cash flows into the calculator. In this step, we're just going to go ahead and calculate NPV. So whilst you still have the cash flows on your calculator screen, press the NPV button to the right of the CF button. Upon doing so, you will see I. I stands for interest. You will go ahead and specify the interest rate which is mentioned in the question. It says assume a cost of capital of 8%. You will type 8 and press the enter button on top. Press the down arrow key. You will be able to see NPV. However, the results have not been displayed yet. In order to obtain the results, you must press the compute button, CPT, to the left. You should now be able to see an answer of 10,359 as the net present value. Let's take a look at an example of how you can calculate IRR. We will keep with the previous example, since we've already keyed in the cash flows into the calculator. To calculate the IRR, you just need to press the IRR button to the left of the NPV button. Upon doing so, you would notice that the IRR results are not being displayed. In order to get the final answer, you need to press the CPT button to the left. And you should now be able to see 8.229% as the IRR for this question.